what have you learned about how to process and harness your own anger?
Well, yeah, the thing that you're talking about was that somebody that I had made a comment about, of course, feeling angry after Chester passed away, and that not being, I said it in a way, like, to be clear, that wasn't the primary emotion. It was just there are 5 stages, there are various feelings you feel, and you really don't have control over them. And that's the hardest part, the craziest part, what feels like the most uncontrollable, is that you just go from emotion to emotion, and they come at random times and at random intervals. So you could just be angry for hours, and you're like, what am I angry about? I'm just mad at everything. And when you've dealt with something traumatic, right? And for some people that could be, you could have various things that trigger that. But this person called me out on Twitter and said, well, how dare you be angry? Like, he was such a great singer and was, important to the band. And if it wasn't for him, you guys wouldn't have even been popular, and so on, right? That was their perspective. And I agree to a degree. Of course, I agree with that. And the part that struck me as incorrect was just that he was saying you don't have a right to be angry. Obviously, I do. And obviously anybody going through these things does, because that's actually, like, clinically part of the process. You can't get through the process without that. It's going to happen. So you just have to be, I think the bottom line is to be, kind to yourself, try to be kind to other people and listen. And if you know that you're going through something hard, the more you talk about it, you actually you empower the people around you to be more understanding. If you don't tell anybody anything, then they don't know where you're coming from. But if you do tell people, then they have kind of a context to put things in. And I've been seeing, like, there's a guy named Demetrius who's he's kind of like a social media, like, comedian, and, like, he makes little videos and stuff. And I didn't know this guy. I still have never met him. And he filmed, I don't know, 6 months ago or 9 months, probably 9 months ago. He did, like, this video of just him. He was waking up. I think he didn't even have his shirt on yet. He was getting ready for his day, and he was playing In the End and, like, rocking out in his apartment or his house to the song. And I think I liked it or retweeted it or something. And I was just like, more of this, like, whatever's going on with this guy. And he was doing it, and he was celebrating Chester and the band. And I was just like, this is what I want to see. Cause I was like, that joy that he was feeling was, like, so powerful for me. And I think for a lot of the fans. And a few months later, he posted this really, revealing, I mean, like I said, it was like most of his thing is comedy and funny and dancing and joy. And then he posted this super revealing piece about his own experience with depression, complete with a poem about suicide that he had considered it. And it just went to show, like, you just never know. Like, this guy, his whole outward facing presence is positivity and joy and all these things. And even he, was susceptible. So, so let's be kind to people. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt.